Well, it's another sad day. I replaced all the injectors in this truck and went to start it and still had a problem. We went and changed the two other injectors that I thought were bad, and it still didn't fix it. I had tested the wiring because there's wiring inside the engine here. I had tested the wiring and that was all good. So then next I had to test this wiring here, which comes down to this plug right here, to see if I had a broken wire and why it wasn't running right. I was having trouble with it because nothing was actually working with the tester. I was using what they call a multi-tester, which is this tool right here. It will check AC voltage, DC voltage, resistance, and continuity. It does quite a bit. It's a really handy tool. Because I was struggling with it, luckily I had an old wire harnesser that came off this truck years ago, and I did my testing on this. I had to find the continuity between this plug right here to this plug, which I was able to figure out what pin numbers are. These are all numbered. I don't know if you can see it, but they're actually numbered. There's numbers along the edge here by my thumb, and there's numbers on this edge here too. So this is what they call a 70 pin. There's 70 holes here that could be used. And I had to find out, and it's these prongs here, these 7, these 3, and then these 4 right here are for this plug, which actually has 12, but they're not all used. And so I used that multi-tester to check the continuity and the resistance. And I guess I could set this up a minute and show you. Show you how I did this. We'll set this here. I'll set this right up here so you can see that. You'll see it says 1. You'll see the numbers jumped. It's because I'm touching these together. And it's showing that there's 0.21 resistance. So I know this works. So now I take this plug right here and just plug into one of these here. Just touch it here, and then I touch the other end into one of the pins, and you see that? It's showing resistance and it's showing continuity. So I found the pin number. See, I got this plugged into here and there. I found the wire, so I know that's working. I had to do that to all these wires in this harness to make sure that it was good, because my injectors still weren't working. And what I wound up finding out, because the wire harness was good, both in the engine, and that's an external harness. That's on the outside, the other one's inside. What I found out is this piece right here was bad. That is called an ECM, or long engine control module. So I pulled that off. There's some drives, what they call drivers. They're the little brains that tell the injectors when to open to spray fuel in the motor. Kind of like a distributor or rotate, or distributor does on an older car. ECMs are also in the newer cars because there's no distributor in new cars. But there's drivers in here. There's 6 of them. It's all computer controlled. And evidently 2 of them are fried. So we're gonna go and get a new one in the morning. What the company will do is they'll plug into this side right here with their laptops, and they'll be able to pull all the information, the programming, the history, the hours, everything out of this unit, and they'll be able to put it in another new unit, and then I'll be able to come back and put it back on. And this actually sits down in here. It's bolted on the side of the motor. So it's not very heavy, but it is the brains of the truck. So hopefully that will solve that problem. But I did have an injector issue when I first brought this in here. So you will I will eventually have a premiere with a lot longer video on the process of changing all the injectors and running the overhead. So you guys will just have to sit tight for that one, because I want the truck to run right before I even post that one up. So I'm just kind of posting little segments up of little issues I run into. Now, this ECM is just a fluke thing that happened. What we're suspecting is the injector failed and it shorted out internally, and then it backfed into the ECM and fried the ECM. So it happens. There's nothing we can do about it. It's just part of trucking. So I hope this has been a little information for you. I know it's probably way over a lot of people's heads, but I can answer questions. I've got diagrams of wiring diagram. Tells me what is what. Like here's injector 1, injector 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I also have this, what I call a cheat sheet. It tells me what color the wire is. Like that's blue, that's gray, that's white, that's orange. Blue, gray, white, orange for injectors 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. That's a common between those. And it also gives me a wire number. This number is printed on the wire. And I'll show you that right now. Makes things a little bit easier. Let's see here. See that white there? Let's see here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's zoom in. See that? There's a number on that wire. It says X987. That one says X985. So I can go over here and I can find this. Let's see here. Let's back up. Okay. X987. There's that one, brown. Let's see where X985. See, that was an orange. So if I can't distinguish between the colors, I can always look for the number that's on the wire, and it'll tell me what it's for. Intake valve actuator number 2 return. So I can chase that down, find that wire, and this tells me what all the wires for that entire wire harness that I showed that I was testing, shows what every single wire is for in that wire harness. And it gives me every single color, because here's a white, there's blue, but because they have different wire numbers, you know that this particular blue wire is a T855. It's for coolant diverter solenoid. So not all the colors are for the same thing. It takes a secondary identification to make it right, or so you could chase it. So I hope this has been informative. This truck's been a little bit of a pain in the butt the last couple days. But the way I look at it is I'm saving on shop labor, which is almost $200 an hour. So I'm not afraid to tackle this thing and fix it myself. So hope you guys enjoyed. And if you got questions, don't be afraid to shoot me a question in the text. So thanks and have a good night.